crowds, the noise, the same old bag of notes. Wouldn't you like something new to rock out with? This is it.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Huh?
This is your opinion?
It's a fact.
A 1970 Oldsmobile 442 with a 455 cubic inch engine, radial tires, and bucket seats.
Hello, boys! I'm back! How do you like the new intro?
Oh my God!
You ready, Rocket Radio fans?
We're back! Yeah, man.
Broham
Oof.
in the DrJay studio with
Wow.
the man.
Unbelievable.
Mobile Steve Minore, Rocket Radio.
I can't believe it's been this long.
We're
man.
back. Yeah,
Why?
dude. We're looking at the thing
nuts.
for all those folks out there.
Yeah.
We are Rocket Radio, DrJay, Jason Heintz, Stephen Minore, Mobile Steve.
That's it.
We have not been here since
I really can't believe it.
January 16th, 2020,
That's
before
a
the
long-
end of the world.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
So I don't know. Should we call this like season 4, or should we throw 2020 out and call this season 5, or is this really season 4?
And this is we did one episode for 3.
That's right, we did. All right,
so
this is season
let's
4.
That's season 4.
Let's
baby.
call it season 4. So here we
Season
are,
4 it
season
is.
4, Rocket Radio, episode 1 of season 4.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Episode 19.
Got a lot.
We did 19.
Got a lot in the queue.
We're back.
We
So,
had a lot of time to.
We need
figure
to catch
things out.
everyone up. So don't forget, go on to YouTube, my YouTube page, DrJay0, DrJay0 on YouTube. Look up all our past episodes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna hit Steve right out of the gate. What's your email?
It's gonna be. S Minore.
Spell
Nice
it.
and short.
Minore
at
Yep.
att.net.
All right.
Nice and short.
Right.
Nice and sweet.
Okay. So should I bring up the elephant in the room? cas-am Performance.
Still exists.
Okay.
And we are revamping a new website.
Oh, good. So you're getting into
So
the
there may be
2020.
another email associated with that, but for now, S Minore.
Minore.
cas-am was just too damn. It was too damn long,
Well,
man.
people
Come
are
on.
dumb. I just called our audience dumb. I'm in trouble.
They're not dumb.
All right, so we got a lot of recapping to do. We're going
We
to go
do.
all
We
the
do.
way back. All
Yes.
the way back.
Yep.
And I'm just going to do rapid fire stuff all the way
Yeah.
back to episode 1.
got
But
'em all.
First,
He's got them all in his hand.
I do.
People.
I do.
He's
A
got
lot
all
of
them.
crazy stuff happened in 2020 and 2021. Here we
Did.
are 1 year and 10 months. I don't even think I've seen you since. Maybe at Lebanon Valley once. I don't
Maybe
even think
8
so.
months ago.
you
When's the
and
last
I
time?
have not crossed paths.
Yeah,
It has
it's been a
nothing
while.
to do with the end of the world and all that wonderful
No,
stuff that's
just
out there.
busy.
We're not
and-
going to talk about that because everyone is sick and tired of
Yeah,
of
don't want to
hearing
hear
about
it. Don't want to hear
that.
it.
But we're going to jump right to it. Local legend.
Yes.
Back in April.
Yeah.
What's that? 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Local legend, car legend,
Yeah.
pizza czar,
Pizza guy.
greatest pizza
czar.
on the planet,
Absolutely.
wins everything
The
award.
best ever.
We lost one of the greatest individuals on the planet,
Absolutely.
Mr. Gary Bimonte.
Yeah. Missed him every day, man.
Yeah, it was devastating.
He was very, he was a spice of life, always laughing, always joking. I never seen that guy pissed off, always in a great mood.
Greatest guy on the planet.
Happy to see anybody that would
Awesome.
come up and say hello to him.
So,
Just
we lost the big one.
devastated
So
on that
shout
one.
out to Gary.
Gary, you're watching down on us, buddy.
There you go.
Novas forever. Maybe we will talk about
Oh, there
Novas
you
for
go.
a
And
little
if
bit.
anyone happens to see stuff randomly scattered across town, I won't say that there's any sticker bandits out there, and I will not confirm nor deny.
Peppy
if you
pizza
happen to
stickers?
see Peppy
Yes.
stickers just randomly out there,
Yep, they're there.
take a picture of it, send it to us, Rocket Radio, at
Yes.
Steve's new email, which is
sminore at att.net. And I'm actually want to bring in a couple of those stickers to the Chicago.
there you go. Definitely do that. So again,
Sure.
anyone out there, Rocket Radio Land, if you see one of those, take a picture, send it to us. We'll put it on the next show.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. It's like one of those "Where's George" stamps that you got on the dollar bills.
Yeah, on the
We're gonna
dollar
do "Where's
bills,
the
yeah.
Peppy" sticker.
That's right. That's right.
And another one, everyone out there knows I am one of the greatest fans on the planet of this individual. My book, I think it's number 1 rock band of all time. I think it's Steve's number 2 behind
Yes,
Led Zeppelin. I will
Right.
say that.
Right.
October 6, 2020. You know,
Yeah.
there was a song written way back. Don McLean, The Day the Music Died, right?
Yeah.
Miss America Pie.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Miss America Pie.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, this was the day the music died. October 6, 2020. We lost
Eddie.
Edward Van Halen.
We lost Eddie. That wasn't good.
So
I'm glad we got to see him.
Yeah. Saw him many, many times.
Many times.
I had the privilege of meeting him, shaking his hand, giving him a hug in Washington, D.C. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And soundtrack of my life since probably 1982.
Yeah.
So I literally just lost 35 of my summer memories.
Oh,
Just,
absolutely.
You know, it's just like
Oh,
that was it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the music's still around. Thank God he
That's
made it.
We lived through the music. And Wolfgang, check out
Oh,
Wolfgang WVH. His solo thing is unbelievable.
Killing it.
Unbelievable.
Killing it.
Check it out. Go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wolfgang WVH. Check it out. Mammoth WVH, excuse me. That's the actual name of the band. A little tribute to Van Halen. Before they were Van Halen in 1974, they were actually called Mammoth.
Look at you rolling, baby.
I'll throw that out there.
You're rolling it back.
And then I want to throw in, everyone remembers us talking about No Drama, Northeast Old Drag Racers and Muscle Car Association. We just actually wrapped up our season on October 23rd.
What a great bunch of guys, man.
Oh, it's just getting bigger and bigger. From the days of the earlier incarnation of this group to when I rebranded it, renamed it, and grew it from 9 people to 78 and
That's
growing.
unbelievable, man.
We're showing up 35 to 40 on the ladder.
These are guys
every
that
race.
just want to race and have fun and enjoy the week,
And
enjoy
we had
it.
a duel in the last 4 races. 2-time repeating champion Jeff Kraenzle, the king.
Jeff. King.
Came down to round 2. The king put up the red light of death.
Oh, you bulbed.
And that threw it away. And right behind the next pair, we crowned our first queen of No Drama.
Yes.
Britt Taylor.
Yes.
And I have in my hand right here, and Steve's going to be the first person to see this, and I'm not putting this up on the show. I'm not. No one can see this. This will be given at our award ceremony banquet in
big
February.
Banquet.
So literally,
look at it,
Steve is the
only one.
second person to see the gift that I have for Britt.
That's the only, that's perfect.
So
that's a killer shot.
Shout out to Kelly Leslie for
Awesome
providing
job.
that photo and
Awesome.
the graphics.
Oh, man.
Don't give any hints.
No way. I don't know nothing. I'm just looking at a magazine cover. How's that?
That's crazy. I got a custom jacket being made, too, in her team colors. I'm going to go see Bobby right here in North Haven at Sports Plus. He's going to whip out an incredible embroidered jacket for me.
That was an awesome. She's gonna love that.
She's gonna
make
Can we
posters
swear?
of that thing.
She's going to shit.
Probably.
So there we go. This bad boy?
Yeah, old moldy magazine there.
The old moldy?
Wow.
The oldie moldy? What am I looking at, Steve?
The issue of Muscle Car Review that I was featured in.
Yeah. Which car was featured in there?
Which car was featured?
Yeah. Or was it just about you?
It was about me, but it was this whole magazine at this time.
Describe the cover.
Yeah, it's a 71 W30 from Long Island that I've known for many years. Everybody thinks it's orange. It's not. It's actually sienna, I believe.
Okay.
But when they printed it, you tell me that doesn't look like orange.
Yeah, I would call
it's
that
not.
like creamsicle.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near creamsicle or orange soda from McDonald's.
That goes down on the floor.
But yeah, that's,
going right down on the list.
That's kind of like where it all started.
Ready? And we have a very, very special group of guests coming in tonight. I know our phones are muted, and we're waiting for that phone call.
Yep.
We have something coming on, which we always used to talk about in November,
right?
When we were doing Rocket Radio in 2019, 2018.
Yes,
we talk about MCACN.
Absolutely.
And what does MCACN stand for?
Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals.
Right, and that's in Chicago.
Absolutely.
This weekend.
Rosemont.
November 20th to 21st.
It's in Rosemont.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We talked about that.
At the Stevens Center.
And I believe it was in 2019. You did very well at that show.
Was it? It might have been 18.
Might have been 18.
Yeah, that's one.
So we know all about that. But our good friends, the Garner boys.
Yes. Still kicking.
They're going to be unveiling something, and I don't want to tease too much about it, but I'll leave this part.
We'll be getting.
It's a 69 Olds Cutlass W31 4-speed convertible with a pretty impressive pedigree.
Oh yeah.
So we're just
got a little bit of history.
Little bit of racing history,
something like that.
All right,
like
so
dumping the clutch history.
We have like a group phone call coming.
Yeah, we got it coming up.
That's going to come in. So you're going to hear the phone ring, and we're going to get to that. But
Absolutely.
Here we go. We're going down the ring. We're going right down.
Very good.
And again, Steve, as always, has no idea what I'm throwing at him.
Nope.
No.
I have no
I was
clue.
going all over the house because I'm going through a slight little remodel.
Oh my gosh.
The wife has been on a kick lately.
Painting spray kit.
How's the new DrJay studio?
I love it.
Right?
Plush carpets.
For those at home can't see it, the whole DrJay studio full revamp.
Totally.
That's right. The
Very
entrance
nice.
to the house redone.
Oh,
the
yeah,
lawn
everything.
looks like Ireland. The living room looks like looks like Vogue. I don't know what's going on.
Candles everywhere. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
And
but the studio is great.
Thank you. There we go. Let's see. We're gonna throw stuff right off the top of the head.
All right. What do you got?
So we got
What do you
Rocket
got?
Radio right here. Steve Minore, Minore.
Right.
cas-am Performance being retooled. So he's got a new email. Hit him.
sminore@att.net.
That's right. That was the first note I ever wrote down. I'm holding my notes card from episode 1. How can folks find you? How do I know Steve? Who is my brother-in-law? Gold Olds from Lebanon, Mobile Steve, Cruven Magazine, Kevin Tennyson.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Warren Johnson. The invention of the Burnout Box and the Rapid Fire 5 questions.
Wow.
Tech Talk. Galen of Mopar compared to McNeish and the Marty Report.
Wow.
I asked him to compare the Chevelle SS454 and a W30 packaged in 1974-42.
Right.
That was an interesting one. Go all the way back to my YouTube page, DrJay0, DrJay0.
Wow.
Authentication needs, cost, what's in a rocker report, why do you need it? Barrett Jackson was coming up.
Love it.
Meekum, the W31 guide. Oh, we had Stefano Bimby on. Was he on that one? No,
Yes.
we introduced our audience to Stefano, but we didn't have him on there. And the Julian date code, something that I learned about, and we told a story about Steve's father, Joe.
Right.
And Joe Mondello, Dr. Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
So if you missed that, episode 1, what do you think? Do you think I could do this in 5 minutes? Go through all 18?
Yeah.
Episode 2, Rock Report, Steve Minore, cas-am Performance, contact email, the Marty, McNeish, and Galen recap from episode 1. Stories from the Street was a new series that we came up with, Tech Talk and the Burnout Box.
Love it.
In the Tech Talk that week I asked them something that I found online called the Select Fit engine parts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the high-flow C-type heads, what would
All
be a
kinds
holy grail car.
Uh-huh.
And
I love it. I
NOS
love it, man.
parts back in the day.
Love it.
Early 70s versus early 1970 versus late 70 broadcast card a la Frank Palmieri.
We'll have to recap that.
We'll have to
time.
recap that because that's
important.
The database of color combos produced. The Canadian Vault, the gentleman that has all the
George.
Oh,
what was this?
what's that?
What's that?
That's the first time you ever said his name.
No, this is a guy that keeps track of all the Canadian cars.
Yes.
Yeah,
George. Okay. All right.
George.
All right.
Well, he has the GM paperwork.
Okay, that's
so he's the
George.
one.
I didn't have
he's
his
the
name.
one you send your money to if you want paperwork for a Canadian Oldsmobile car.
Okay. These are all the things we're going to talk about this year. We're going all the way back.
I'm making notes.
Episode 3, Rocket Radio, Stephen Minore, Rocket Report, cas-am Performance, the contact and email, which he has a new email. Hit him with that email one more time.
sminore@att.net.
Look at
Keep
that.
rolling,
We're 14
baby.
minutes
Let's
in.
go.
We're rolling. Barrett Jackson, Palm Beach was coming up that episode in April of 18.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lot number 49 that Thursday was a 70 Olds Cutlass Supreme convertible, upgraded with a 455, 390 horsepower, W31 period correct engine, which we both laughed our balls off about.
Yeah, I remember that.
GM Heritage Collection information letter.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that one actually sold for 130 grand.
Wow.
We went down a bunch of lots. 72 442
Yeah.
W3 convertible.
Well,
the John Staluppi collection was that episode.
See, we used to recap all that stuff.
Yeah. And then we talked again about the Marty McNeish and Galen reports, values of 68 to 69 versus 70 72, early versus late broadcast. We recapped that.
Right.
Scottsdale, Arizona, Barrett Jackson. We talked about something that I had seen about a car that was coming up, and you gave me the VIN number. It sold in 2013, a 1974 42 W30 convertible, sold for $357,500. Rally red, black 4-speed W27.
The Fox one.
That's right. right.
I
So
remember.
that car was coming up in that Barrett-Jackson Palm Beach. All right, episode 4. Look at this. That only took me 1 minute. Barrett-Jackson Palm Beach recap in 2018. The full Staluppi collection.
Yep.
Sold. Christy Lee, Velocity.
Yeah, met her.
Yeah, we
that
put
was
up
good.
the Velocity picture, the Twitter, Rocket Radio, Rocket Report, cas-am Performance, the email, Tech Talk. I went over a bunch of stuff,
Love
which
it.
was the W30, W31, W32, and W33.
Oh,
we touched
boy.
on that, which we still don't know a lot about. I think we're
Yeah,
still looking for an
I'm gonna
expert
make
to
notes.
kind of loop in about that.
Yeah, we can get a W32 expert on here. I have one.
And this
Allan.
was the first time Rocket Radio was introduced to Garner Customs Restorations down in Bradenton, Florida.
Nice.
Yes. Because also Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in Chicago, November 17th, 18th of 2018 was that week. And, W31 Invitational was that year. So, your car was introduced in 2018.
That's right.
GarnerCars.com, from barn finds to showstoppers. Allan and Ken, great guys. Info at GarnerCars.com.
Next.
And the Burnout Box that week. Sunday sauce or gravy, ride the soap or a washcloth, and the best meal you ever had, ever.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was prequel to me going to where you
Yes.
said to go in New York.
That's right.
What's his name's place?
Chaz Baldwin Terrace.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. See, whenever you want a restaurant, I've been everywhere in this country. I'll tell you what it is.
Oh,
what do you think?
man.
Are they like giving you heads up? They're going to be calling in soon?
Yeah, we
Are they
might
really?
have to. Yeah.
No. Well, all right. Well, hold
All
on.
right.
Let's get through season 1 then.
Okay.
Episode 5.
Perfect.
Yeah, we did that. Tech Talk, Engine Builders, referrals. You gave me a couple there. The W Machines, 68 to 72. Build a car in 1969 for me. Check all the boxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Herstols, probably.
That's it. The Rocket Report, authenticate the rims, the exhaust, the brackets, the panels, the interior, everything. And that was the first time we had our debate about what is the U bracket on the intake called and what color should it be.
Oh, I love it. That's still going on to this day.
What color is it supposed to be?
Natural
Or
now,
purple?
But, yeah.
Purple?
No, not purple.
Not purple?
No.
Natural? Silver?
Natural.
Natural. So you're on the silver.
Some
kick.
people say blue, some people say natural. I
All right.
stick with natural.
We had the recap coming off the Palm Beach,
pretty
MCACN,
cool.
one more time. Stefano Bimby, Nikki Performance in Chicago, NICKE, backwards EY.
Yes.
We talked about the Stage 1, 2, 3 supercars and
Yes.
NikkiPerformance.com,
That's right.
Facebook.com. Nikki.
He's got a new place now.
NICKEY.
He's
We're
got a
going to
new-
talk about that too.
He's got a new place.
So we had Stefano Bimby on telling us all about the history of Nikki Chevrolet, and that was kind of awesome.
Right.
The Burnout Box.
I'm
We
making
talked
notes,
about
man. I'm
Petty,
making notes.
Earnhardt, Gordon, Johnson, Grumpy, Glidden, Warren, Anderson, and would you ever eat at a strip club buffet?
I love it.
All right,
I love it. I love it, man.
Hold on here. What do we got? I'm going
What do
through
you
those.
There's so much, man.
No, I
There's
got
so
five
much.
more. Five
All
more.
right, I'll
I'm
do
going to do
five
it quick.
more. All right,
I'm going to do it quick.
all right.
So remember, go on YouTube, DrJay0, DrJay, the
Yeah.
number 0 on YouTube. Check all these out. Every episode, 45 to an hour long. You
Yeah.
love it. What else did we talk about? We gave everyone new things. You set up email, and we had new email at that time. We had Twitter. You finally set up Twitter in
Yep,
episode
yep,
6. We recapped MCACN and Indy, which was May 15th to the 20th. So I think we're in, where are we now? I think we're in 2019 now.
Yeah, maybe.
It's very possible.
That's possible.
More. Oh yeah, this was interesting to me. The Corvette Pace Car Collection was at MCACN. All 16 cars
yes.
sold for $1.7 million.
Yes, I saw it go.
That was crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we had a Cutlass SX. We had a Herstal.
Yeah,
Pace
70,000. 70,000 for that SX,
Do you remember
right?
that off the
Yep,
top of
the
his
black
head?
one. The
Yes.
black one, baby.
There was the blue on blue four speed.
The Stolman.
Yes.
Yep. Hawaii.
There you go. You're remembering.
Hawaii car, Mancini. Yep, keep going.
All right, and
Someone trying
we
to
did the
stump me?
spaghetti versus linguine. And,
Spaghetti.
in the Burnout Box was the American landmarks that you would love to visit.
Oh.
And then we talked about. That was a
What?
week we lost Bob Glidden.
Oh, wow.
Legend Bob Glidden.
Wow.
With the Fairmont, the Thunderbird, the Probe, and we both agreed that he was one of 2 or 3 people that would transcend the sport back then to now
Absolutely.
and would still kick some serious ass.
Absolutely.
This was a recap episode 7 and 8. We put them both together, and this was a long one. Tech talk, hardware, bolts, clamps, hoses, markers, repopped wheels, lug nuts, right-hand threads, you name that. The Burnout Box.
boy.
Any character or actor from any movie that you would want to meet.
Who did I pick?
Yeah.
Had to be a woman.
You
Blonde.
picked a woman, and you picked Jada. Yeah. Okay.
McWeenie, I don't care.
All right, so that was a Barrett-Jackson Northeast recap. That was Barrett-Jackson up here, Mohegan Sun in 2018, June 21st. I don't know if that was the Nora. I think that was the second one. We closed out with the burnout box in that one. I went through every professional job you ever had. Tell me which era you would ever want to live in, and meatballs, fried or baked, to close it out. And there was the picture of you met Goldberg at that episode. So there we go. July 26, 2019. I asked Steve to build me a car. 68, 69, 70, or 71 W30. Top to bottom. Build it. What else we talk about? Epping, Officer Stockman. Teddy Stockman retired that week of that episode. We had Garner Cars on again. Ken Garner was on that week talking about a W31. I don't know which one he was talking about. Do you even know what he was talking about? You don't? No? No, and that was the prequel, talking about the 2018. No, we're still in 2018. I'm getting this all messed up. Oldsmobile National Meets was in Gettysburg that year. And let's see here. We went to the burnout box, and one question we had was, if you ever had a house fire, would Steve save his 134 cats or one car? Next. One more? Oh, come on. I got three more. Episode 10. We'll get them. Don't worry about it. All right, here was Tech Talk was an interesting one.
Right.
Stripes, wings, wheels, trim packages, and all the names. And the night something package. What was it called? Night Watch package. There we go. Engine builders. We recapped from episode 5. We actually named a couple engine builders on that one. In that episode, we lost that week Burt Reynolds. We dedicated that episode to him at the end. I made a little thing there. And the closeout, the Doo-Wop Cruisers Car Show. We're talking about that Labor Day weekend every year. Speaking of Doo-Wop Cruisers Car Show, they have closed the doors. Doo-Wop Cruise Car Show is all done. Our local legends, Robin, Steve, Eileen, putting that one to bed. So if anyone's looking to pick up an amazing cruise and carry the torch, North Haven's looking for a DJ and host, and it's not going to be on.
It's a lot of work.
I'm retired.
It's a lot of work, man.
All right, the burnout box. Lasagna or ziti, eggplant parm or chicken parm. And I have your answer circled, but I don't care. Two more. No, one more. No, two more.
One more.
Episode 11 was November. This was MCACN this weekend. And what do we got here? W31 Invitational, Stefano Bimbi, Nikki Performance, Garner Customs Restorations, GarnerCars.com, Bradenton, Florida. Muscle Car Review in 5 parts. That was the magazine that Steve talked about we did there. And this was the first time I was introduced to Mr. Dan Vasek.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. And the last one of season 1, I was introduced to a gentleman named Casey Marks.
Oh.
Fastest pure stock.
Yes.
70 Oldsmobile. F85 W31.
Yes.
And held that record for 26 years. 1282 was his ET.
Yep. Very nice.
We were talking about all the team of judges down in Matt, and then you got some garage artwork, a piston, an NOS piston. They made you a little gift, I think. A lamp. Was it a lamp?
Yes.
It was a lamp.
He made a lamp on a W31 parts.
And he calls that side hustle garage artwork.
Yes.
Quarter Mile Creations. Facebook Casey Marks. Jimmy McKeag.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They were all on that episode, and that closed out our first
What a good
season.
year that was.
How was that for season 1? So
Unbelievable.
season 2 is in my hand. You guys get the point. Rocket Radio.
Yeah.
We cover everything.
I love it.
We do. So
we got more to go, man.
There's the phone. I think they're ringing in.
Oh, my gosh.
They're ringing in.
Yes. Hello?
Hey, Steve.
Hey. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, Steve? How you been, buddy?
What's going on? I hear you got a clan of people on the phone with you.
Yeah, we've got the gang all together. We got the Florida gang and Lone Me from Delaware.
All right, Steve. All right, hold on now. Tell the Rocket Radio audience who is on the phone right now.
All right, so we got Jeff Kane. Jeff Kane owns the car we're about to talk about.
Yes, we gave a little teaser in the early.
Right. And we have Bruce Ponte and Rick Bedford. They worked on the car
Hello?
as well, and I'm going to let them tell the story.
All right, well, let me give a little insight here, Rocket Radio fans. We gave a little teaser on our intro about something going to be unveiled this coming weekend, November 20th, 21st, Rosemont, a.k.a. Chicago, MCACN show.
That's correct.
Right, this Saturday and Sunday. 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass W31 4-speed convertible. Now, I want to run down 3 things
Okay.
This car is one of 26, and we're not going to fight about that today. You're right, because we've had that before. This is one of 5, which I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to let them talk about. And Rocket Radio Land, this car is down to 1 of 1. Jeff, Bruce, Rick, what car are we talking about?
Thank you, best. The Smothers Brothers King Oldsmobile.
Absolutely.
Yes,
sir.
Rare as hell, man. Tell the story, guys.
Lots
Jeff,
of blood, sweat, and tears. Lots of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes. So how did you guys hook up? Jeff, why don't you tell the story? Bruce, and I'm sure you guys were all filling the gaps of what everybody wants to hear.
All right. Well, I'll start it. So I was on Facebook one day, and I was on another site, and there was a fuel injection unit on there, and I made a comment about I'd sure like to have one of those back again. And a young man named Jeremy Weibel says, "Hey, my dad's got one of those." And I said, "Would he sell it?" He said, "I don't know." I asked him. I said, "Are you any relationship to Jim Weibel?" He said, "Yeah, I'm his son." I said, "He was one of my heroes when I was a kid drag racing." I said, "He had the fastest 57 Chevys in the country," and we got to talking, and we soon got off of Facebook and onto Messenger and started talking privately. And I started asking about the fuel injection unit and if his dad had any other parts, and he said, "Yeah, he sure did. And I would like to sell some of his stuff." And I said, "How about his cars?" And he said, "Oh yeah, he's got his old race car." And of course, I really knew him from 57 Chevys. I had a 57 Chevy, and so I asked him. I said, "Oh, would he sell that?" And he says, "Oh, he doesn't have the Chevy anymore. He's got the Oldsmobile." I said, "Oh, is it for sale?" And he said, "Only to the right person." And when he made that comment, I knew I was not the right person. That I wasn't. I was a Chevy guy, and I figured that Jimmy wanted it to end up with somebody in the Oldsmobile world. So we didn't talk anymore about that, and I finally made arrangements to fly down to Florida and meet with Jim and Margaret and Jeremy and Ramona and go over and look at this fuel injection unit. And hey, while I'm down there, can I see the old race car? So we went and looked at the race car first, and it was all the way in the back of a very large metal building in the farthest back corner, covered with a whole lot of dirt, and you could barely tell it was a car. There was so much stuff piled around it and dirt on top of it and everything else, and the convertible top was shredded on it. And so, but I looked at it, and I had, by the time I got down there, I had done some research, so I knew what the car looked like originally and everything else. And when you opened, you could see the two-tone paint, the saffron yellow with the red sides and the door jambs. And this was no longer saffron yellow. It had been painted a real bright I call it poppy yellow, but it still had the red door jambs in it, and they had the documentation with the VIN number showing it was the correct car. So looked at it and went over, looked at the fuel injection unit, looked at some other parts that Jim had, Chevy parts that Jim had, and I walked outside, and we're standing outside and talking to the four of them, and Brenda and I were standing out there, and I said, "I'd like to make you an offer on." I found a set of real 1956 dual quad carburetors, and so I said, "I'd like to make you a package deal on all 3 pieces." And Margaret says, "Let me ask you a question. If you bought this car, what would you do with it?" I said, "I would restore it back to the way it drag raced in 1969. I would not restore it back to 1 of 26. I would restore it back to the way it was in 1969. Jim Weibel's name will always be on the front fender of it. Jeff King would only be the caretaker of this car. Jim Weibel will always be, the quote-unquote owner of this car." So they met for a few minutes and had a family discussion. Jim Weibel stuck his hand out and said, "You bought my car." So I had a friend of mine, Steve Kugelman, load it up in car trailer and bring it north to Pennsylvania, and had it up here for a while, and met Bruce at the Oldsmobile Nationals up in
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, yeah. Thanks,
Right,
Bruce.
that's
And we spent the day up there wandering around, talking Oldsmobiles, and met some guy named Steve Minore while I was up there, and talked to him, and he kind of hinted that, sooner or later that car is going to come back in my hands. And at the time, I smiled and kind of didn't know what he was talking about. And sure enough, it went 360 degrees. Steve was involved in looking at this car and documenting that it was, in fact, the actual real car, and looked it all over. So Bruce, I contacted Bruce and said, look, I would really like to get this car restored. Can you put me on the right track of who I can get to restore this car? And he said, well, I think you really need to talk to Garner's down in Sarasota here. And he said, how about sending me a bunch of pictures down so Garner's can take a look at it? And I sent him a couple hundred pictures down there, and Bruce printed those out, took them over to the folks at Garner's, and they looked at it. And Allan Steinbock came down from Pittsburgh, flew down. One of the partners at Garner's flew down and met Steve at my house, and the three of us looked at the car and discussed it and talked about the future of it and talked about a lot of things, and they looked to see how good or bad the body was on it, what it all needed. And Allan left and went on to the airport to fly back to Florida, and Steve turned around and went back home. And a couple of days later, we were in a discussion about the car and moving forward with it. And we came to an agreement of getting the car done. So in May, I loaded the car up, and Brenda and I drove it nonstop to Sarasota, Florida. We were scared to death that something would happen to it, so I didn't want to stop and leave it in a hotel all night long. So we drove 18 hours down to Sarasota and pulled up down there and dropped the car off. And she was laughing. She said it looked like a helicopter laying at the hospital with a triage unit coming out. Everybody was running out of the Garner building, and opening up the trailer doors and rolling the car out. And next thing, everybody was around the thing and lifting it in the air and dropping the chassis off and rolling the chassis back back into my car trailer again, and said, all right, take this to Rick's house, and Rick and Bruce will do the chassis and we'll do the body. And so we dropped it up to Rick's shop, and he and Bruce handled the chassis and engine and transmission, rear end, putting everything together on that part of it. And Garner's did the body work on it. So then that night we went back over to Allan's house. The night we dropped it off, we went over to Allan's house for dinner, and we're sitting there talking, and Ken and Allan leaned over and said, we know you've got a time schedule. You gave us a deadline on this car of March 2022 to get it done, because you wanted to have the car done for Gainesville, Florida, for the NHRA Gator Nationals. And Jim Weibel lives in Lakeland, Florida, and we'd have Jim there and the car there and kind of have a little ceremony of reuniting him with his old race car and what have you. And he said, we think the car is better than what we expected. Would you have any problem if we got the car done by November for the November for the MCACN show? And I sort of sat there in a fog, because I'm used to having people tell me that my car is going to be longer, not shorter than what I had wished for. So next thing I know, they were banging it out, sending me progress reports, almost daily. Bruce and Rick just jumped in and did a absolutely killer job on the chassis. Steve went down there, worked on a lot of the details on the chassis, and three of them, got a lot of things handled on that end of it. And then when the chassis and engine and transmission, everything were all put together, Bruce had the motor running. Aaron Shipley did the engine up here, and I brought the engine down with me when I brought the car down in May. So Bruce went over the engine when we got it down there, got everything pretty much put the wire together, and all the lines run, fired it up, so we knew it was, everything was good to go down there. And then took the chassis back over to the Garner shop and put the two together, and they've been, all of them have been wailing away on ever since. And Rick did the interior in the car, and we got a lot of parts out of Fusix, got beautiful interior out of Legendary. So we've been an awful lot of people that have given up an awful lot of time and energy to put this car together. And I saw some video today on Garner's website, and Bruce and Allan sent me some photos today, and the car is just spectacular. So Rick, I'll let you and Bruce fill in the rest of what on your end, all the things that you were involved with and putting it together.
Bruce, I'm going to let Bruce take this over, because Bruce was the instrument man. He was the man with a plan when it came to laying everything out and figuring out how and what he wanted to do, and making sure the frame was straight, and getting it over to the right people here local to make sure the frame was good and straight, and to make sure the welds were fixed on the frame where things had tweaked and broke over the years. But I'm gonna let Bruce take over, and he can fill it in from there for sure.
Go ahead, Bruce. It's all yours, buddy.
Well, one of the things that I had thought about was knowing that this car had been raced very hard for a full season, and then even in some respects, we think one of the owners along the way afterwards has done a little bit of local racing with it. We knew that the chassis had some really hard time to it. Well, when Rick and I were tearing the chassis down, dismantling it, we noticed some stress cracks in the frame. Now, I'm not talking like structure area, more so when Jim Wable had built a very simple but effective ladder bar system on this car. And the ladder bars were welded straight to the rear end housing. And then what they did is he took box tubing and came off the frame, and then that was where some of the mounting points, additional mounting points were. Well, what happened was where that box tubing was attached to the frame on the passenger side, it had cracked almost completely around. And it wasn't from poor welds. It was because the car had been hammered on so hard, to the point where Jeff will even attest to the fact that there was structural damage to the convertible well, like in the what was it, the inner fender well area, Jeff, somewhere in the quarter panel area.
Well, I had two good friends of mine up here did some body work on it before it was sent down to Garner's. Jim Brady and Butch Lloyd. Butch is an excellent metal man, and they found in the convertible top well area in both corners, because that car is not a hard top. There's nothing there to really tie everything into the windshield post and what have you, other than that 2 pegs and a convertible top. That thing had really flexed, and it's got a monstrous set of ladder bars underneath of it, and they had really done its toll. I can't imagine if that car had been raced anymore, harder raced anymore over a year, what it would have looked like. But so they were able to cut those stress fractures out of it and weld new metal back into it to strengthen it back up again.
Yeah, so in effect what we did at that point is I thought, well, this doesn't make any sense because the frame has probably got a lot of twist to it. So at that point I said, listen, I'm going to take it to a good friend of Rick's of mine who owns a collision center, and he owns a very good frame machine. I said, look, can you check the frame for straightness? But before then, I took the rear end housing and the frame to a gentleman named Kurt Sanders at S&S Welding. Probably the best welder that I've ever known in my entire life. The guy's just, his welds are like artwork. So he welded everything up for me, straightened the rear end housing, and then we took it off to Precision Collision, Aurelio Martinez, and he started doing all his checks. He just started laughing. He said, look, I see him tweaked in accidents and stuff, but he said, man, this car, he said, Bruce, it's an inch high in the front on one side, and in the opposite corner, it's an inch low.
It was a racer.
This thing was twisted really bad. Well, it only makes sense then. So, right. If you think about it, when you go to put the core support back on the car and the fenders mount to that, if you're putting it on a twisted frame, nothing is going to line up.
Yeah, your door jams, everything's going to be all
so at that point, basically right before Memorial Day, I carted it off to Aurelio, and he called me about 3 days later. He said, hey, it's done, come get it. And which was really really amazing and nice of him to do that because, you know, he's like everybody else. He's very busy. He's very good at what he does. And then at that point, I took it off to Pro Coat Performance Coatings, and the frame and all the suspension and control arm, all that stuff was powder coated. And we tried to, you know, match what we thought would be the factory colors as best as we could. And then at that point, it took about, I don't know, Rick, was it maybe a month, Rick? And then we had it back.
Got it back on its wheels.
Yeah. And then and then it was go from there. Go from at that point in time. So,
I mean, basically what I took them down there was a body shell on a frame. And 6 months later, they're having a car that's going to be unveiled at MCACN. I mean, it's just unreal, the thrash that all this team has done on this car. Unreal.
Yeah, it's quite an amazing project.
I would say, and I think Rick will concur, that this, for me, personally, it will probably be the highlight of anything I've ever done with any cars.
Oh, absolutely.
I've done a lot of nice cars.
This is the pinnacle for me.
Cars I've owned, but I mean, it's a real honor to have been selected to work on this thing.
Absolutely, and I thank Jeff and Bruce. You know, I can't thank you for including me in the whole process, and Jeff for allowing me to be a part of the whole process. And you know, I mean,
Likewise.
It's definitely an honor, guys.
Well said, Bruce.
I'm just truly touched by the outpouring of people that reached out to me when they found out that I had purchased this Oldsmobile of, you know, what were total strangers saying, what can I do to help you? And Bruce was one of them. You know, Bruce reached out to me and it's like, hey, this is really cool. You know, what if you need any parts, need whatever, tell me what you're looking for. And, you know, I started out, well, what rear gear should I run in this thing? You know, well, this is what you need. You know, and he found gears for it, you know. So we kept asking different questions of him, what have you, and finally he said, hey, look, Gettysburg's not that far from us. He said, well, Karen and I are going to the Olds Nationals. And so Brent and I just met him up there, and we spent the day together, and we really hit it off because we had talked quite a bit about different things, and Bruce helped me source parts for this car prior to all this stuff, and he and I had never met. So I was just really amazed at how welcomed I got into the Oldsmobile community by acquiring this car. I had never experienced that before. You know, usually with cars, what have you, everybody kind of, you know, I mean, a lot of people reach out and help, whatever. But this was sort of different. I mean, it was just the amount of people that knew this car and knew of the car and really wanted to see the car brought back to life was just incredible. Just absolutely amazing how many people wanted this car done so they could put their hands on it again. So.
And let me chime in on something here too. I will tell you that Jeff honestly deserves a lot of credit because Jeff and I have talked about this several times that he could have just put the car together and had it look really nice, and he could have put a stock engine in it with a big cam to sound the part. He did it right. I mean, he spared no expense that I can tell you for certain with that engine that Aaron built, that if he wanted to go out and run that car and hit the mark, it would do it because everything is about being period correct, setting it up for drag racing. You know, when we took it to the alignment shop, actually yesterday, it's set to run. Even though it may never, you know, be ran that hard again, it is set to do exactly what it did in 1969. So, you know, kudos and hats off to Jeff for sparing that expense because he certainly could have done it. Nobody would have ever known the difference. But I mean, right down to the factory correct tack and the vintage line lock system, all that stuff. So
and even vintage Krager wheels. I mean, he could have went out and bought new Krager wheels, but those are vintage, you know, Krager wheels from back in the day. The old boxes, me and Bruce were even scared to handle the old boxes because a couple of them were pretty brittle. Just, you know,
and the headers too, right, guys? The headers.
I had my buddy Dave Stiltman down in Maryland, who's got a W31 that he races and races it hard. he had some Craigers stored away that he parted with to let me have them to put on that King Oldsmobile. And, you know, like I said, I mean, there's a number of people across the country. Tom Pelassi with I needed a dash, and, you know, reach out. And just a lot of people have contributed. Wayne Shipley, you know, Aaron's father, Aaron Shipley's AKS race engines. He built the engine for Tweed Voorhees, and he's built a number. He built Dave Siltman's motor. He's built a number of really killer, you know, racing engines for Oldsmobile. So he was my go-to guy for the engine, and he built. I mean, you know, these guys have all been down there when it's fired up. I have not been around it when it's come to life, but I guess I'll get to hear it this weekend at MCACN. But they all just say it's a thumper. And, it's a thumper.
It's not going to disappoint you for sure. It sounds like a big block and feels like it. It's amazing.
Well, being one of the few people that have moved it around, I can tell you the car's got some power there. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Bruce is the only one right now that's driven it, right, Bruce?
No, I think Ken moved it one time, and what was kind of funny, he wanted nothing to do with that. He said, listen, that car is violent. He said, I'm just so scared that if that foot slips off that clutch. I said, yeah, I get you. I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce has got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, you know, I don't think you guys left anything out. Of course, I'm honored to be working on this car as well, and being part of the team. You know, Bruce was instrumental in the beginning of, obviously, I'm repeating a little bit, but getting this car in the restoration, you know, where it is now with Garner, myself, and Rick, and Jeff. It's just, it's a dream team, and I honestly, this is going to be a hard one for me to top.
Steve, as always, buddy, it's good talking with you.
We appreciate you being on.
I look forward to seeing. Looking forward to seeing everybody this coming weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll all be at MCACN.
This is going to be a good show. This is going to be a great show.
Hey, thanks for having us on your very first rocket report from when coming back. So
we're going to have another one. We're going to have you guys on again after the show.
Okay. Sounds good, buddy. Thanks, man.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Good night.
Right, bye-bye.
Thanks again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye now.
Bye-bye. Real
How
nice.
was that? Wow.
That's.
I think
how
that was
could
the
you?
most
I mean,
information.
Yeah.
That
precise.
Like top to bottom, A to Z. Name drop, name drop, name drop. Credit.
How do you even? You
Everyone
can't even
involved
intervene.
In this insane project.
Right. You can't even intervene. You had to let him. Jeff, you did a great job.
Yeah, I mean,
Bruce.
Rocket Radio
Rick,
fan,
unbelievable.
have you ever heard DrJay keep his mouth shut
That's
for
unbelievable.
20 minutes?
Jeff topped you.
Right. Right? I mean, I was just in awe listening to them.
Unreal.
Jeff Kane, Bruce Ponte, Rick Bedford.
Unbelievable
Story.
We all had our hands in. Those
and
guys.
all you guys got was that little blip of what is going to be unveiled.
Just a touch.
So
that
I'm
thing
going to
is
say
nasty.
the one question I had, and I was going to ask them,
right?
But they were just on a roll. I could not interrupt them.
Yeah.
For our Rocket Radio fans and our audience out there, I just had to shut my mouth for a change.
That was passion.
It's unbelievable.
Deep
they know
passion.
that story, and
Absolutely.
that car is going to be unveiled this Saturday, Sunday. I think the unveil is Saturday.
Saturday morning, probably
Saturday
mid-morning. Yeah.
The car is going to be located where?
Rosemont.
No, like where on the grounds? Where in the building? In the Garner booth?
Yeah, in the Garner booth.
Okay, the Garner,
absolutely.
GarnerCars.com. Ken and Allan in their booth at MCACN, Rosemont.
Yep.
This weekend.
At Stevens Center.
There you go.
Right across from Gibson's Steakhouse.
I'll put that link up right here for MCACN. Bam! There's the logo for MCACN.
Yes.
And all right. So the only question I have.
Yes.
You had your hands in the car, on the car, over the car. When's the last time you seen it in person, and how far along was it when you saw it?
I saw it the last week in October.
Okay.
And
just a month ago. Not even a month ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
okay.
3 weeks. And it didn't have the top or the interior in it.
Okay.
It had the dashboard in it. It was running.
So aside from the teaser pictures, you also are going to be surprised this weekend by the 100% completed car. Not counting pictures and teasers that you're privy to.
Right. That's the last time I saw it.
Okay.
But Bruce and Rick and everybody at Garner, obviously they've seen it. Jeff hasn't seen it. I think his last time he's seen it in person is October 1st.
Wow. That's a long time.
So,
long time.
So I happened to catch it when I was down there. I happened to catch the first rolling driving of it. Bruce backing it up out into the road, playing with the clutch a little bit, and then getting into the trailer to get the stickers put on.
All right. How stout is this motor?
Nasty.
Really?
Nasty. It thing sounds like 14-to-1 compression.
Oh, like it's popcorn.
It's absolutely popcorn machine.
Love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. But it's not like the popcorn machine creation that you and Emilio and everyone had around here. It just sounds popcorn.
It's got a nasty camshaft in it. Big duration, big compression.
Yeah.
Jeff did not spare anything when he wanted Aaron to rebuild the engine. Just said, do what you got to do.
All right.
So
2 more questions.
Yes.
You know I'm not a fan of this because I know it doesn't exist to do so, but let's go all the way back to the top of the 3-part breakdown. How is it 1 of 26? Start there.
Oldsmobile made 26, 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass W31
That's
4-speed
proven
cars.
on paper,
4-speed
case
cars.
closed.
Right.
26.
Right. And of 26, I have 0 in my registry. I've never seen one in person, ever.
Okay,
heard
so
stories.
Let's take the 1 of 5 and the 101 off the table. Of those 26, you've seen this one.
That's it.
All right, Rocket Radio fans.
That is it. If
anyone out there,
you got it.
If that car exists, 69 Oldsmobile Cutlass W31 4-speed convertible. If you are number 2 through 26.
There is another one, honestly, that I know of that's in a million pieces. It's got certain...
You know where it is. Do you know the person that has it?
I do.
You do?
I do.
So we're not going to mention that person?
No, we'll have him on one day.
Okay.
But that car was a rolling chassis that a friend of mine called me upon and asked me some questions about it. We'll get into this. This is going to be an episode. I'm writing into my logbook.
This is going to be a great season. Episode 4.
He asked me some questions. I verified it over the phone that it could be one of the real W31s.
You don't know yet. So
I haven't seen
it out
it
there.
in
Steve
person.
Minore, Minore at att.net.
Yep.
Going to have to check it out, do a rocker report, or at least...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to definitely go do that once
top to bottom.
The guy gets it together.
Right.
He's working on it very slowly. He's got an engine. He's got a car. It doesn't, it takes a lot of time and money, like everybody knows.
Yeah, we all know this.
But I think that may be the second one. That's it out of 26. I've never. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
impressive. You see my face.
Yeah,
that's real.
I wish I could take a picture of that right now.
Listen,
so this is
that's
the one
rare,
of one known to exist, verified as a Smothers Brothers car. This is the last one that's known out there.
Yeah.
So
right
Minore, Minore at att.net.
That's correct.
If you are one of those,
I knew of
say
or
Holy
saw
Grail.
It. Yeah, Holy Grail of 1969.
If you knew somebody that saw this car at the local strip in Bumbledoodle, Iowa, wherever, if you think, send Steve an email.
I love it.
And
then I'll reach out to my 69 Olds community and put it out there.
And
with,
there we
with
go.
those guys.
And
with
we'll
the
help
gurus.
you guys out. So amazing. They were just talking about Ken and Allan, GarnerCars.com, doing the big unveil.
Yeah.
This Saturday, Sunday, November 21st. MCACN in Chicago, Rosemont. What's the name of the hall again?
Stevens Center.
Stevens
That's
Center.
easy.
Here's the logo
That's easy.
again. Boop.
MCACN.
So Rocket
Muscle
Radio,
Car and Corvette Nationals,
episode
baby.
19, Season 4,
I know.
Episode 1
I'm so
of
excited.
Season 4, after one goddamn year and 10 months off.
We've been
because
locked
of the
up.
End of the world.
Locked up. We're out.
What do you think?
We're out of the cage.
We got anything else? We're not doing the burnout box.
No,
We're not doing tech talk.
It was all about us coming back out and, number one, talk about the Smothers Brothers car and get the real story and how the car was acquired by Jeff.
That's it.
And how Bruce and Rick and myself and Garner got involved with the project. And
Jeff.
that was...
and everybody.
Jeff was the one that Yeah.
Unbelievable. So we're going to do, obviously, a follow-up. We always say we did it. Last time we said we were going to do a follow-up was January 20th of 2020, and we never got to follow up because the world apparently ended.
I know. We're
going to get back into the every other week, once a month follow-up and do this.
Yes.
You're flying out Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night?
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to say what tonight is. Does anyone are folks not supposed to know that you're flying out? Because you said that kind of weird.
Yeah, no. Everybody knows. You know, I got a new job. They know I'm going.
All right. I was just going to make sure. I didn't want to get you in trouble because, through the magic of editing, I can take that part out.
No, leave it in.
I'm not going to.
I'm getting there.
That's it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to talk right there. No burnout box. No tech talk. No hoop loop. Natural silver purple thingy. Mondello. Dr. Rolls. You looking like Luigi. Whatever. Austin Powers at a party last week on Facebook.
That was me.
Steve Minore. Minore. That's it for Rocket Radio. We're at it.
We're gone, baby. Later.